Gang, gang. Come on in. Hello, family. Hello. We're going to do a quick story time before I get too tired on y'all asses. Because I be having to make moves. Truthgang. Hello, hello. I'm actually prepared this time. My joint already rolled. I'm smoking it now. Okay? And I don't usually be prepared like that. You know? I have to roll it while y'all coming on in. But I'm already ready today. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me as soon as y'all come into the room. That is going to help with the algorithm. It's going to help you guys get you guys' notifications out quicker. Like if you guys are liking the video, you guys are watching the video, it's telling YouTube this is some good fucking content. So we need to get these notifications out. That's what that tells YouTube. Asha. You said you invoked Shango in a dream. His energy is insane. I've had some experiences with Shango. I feel like he's very flirtatious. But of course, everybody's going to have different encounters. You said we want to see your fine self. Turn the light on. I want to turn the light on for you guys, and I will here soon. But the spirit is in the process of actually moving me and shit. So I'll be back and forth from my crib to a safe space because of the shit that I'm going through. But there is going to be a permanent move here. And then once that happens, I'll be able to get back on camera. So you'll be able to see that fine face here soon. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. So we are going to talk about that one time that I was locked up, y'all. Shit. Your girl got locked the fuck up. I believe this was in it was some years ago. Shit. I don't fuck around with the law or breaking laws and shit. I think it was in 2017 or something like that, 2018 or something like that. And I was in Omaha, Nebraska. This is when I was dealing with, I'm going to tell y'all the spiritual aspects of it too. I was dealing with demons through technology, where I was having demons actually like hop into like my laptops and my cell phones and shit like that. And this is during the time where I met Archangel Raphael, and then I learned that he had a twin, evil twin, so to speak. And I was dealing with the evil twin, and I didn't know that Archangel Raphael, there was two of them. I didn't know there was two of them. So I was listening to the wrong fucking one. And that spirit was telling me to, and this has something to do with the narcissist as well. That spirit was telling me to go and take my kids to St. Louis. They wanted me to drive there or whatever. And my sister, she is so-called a little witch or whatever. So she's like, she had gave me her license plates because I believe I owned the car, but I didn't have it registered or nothing like that. So she had gave me her license plates. And she was like, if you drive my shit out of town, then I'm going to take my plates off your car. And I told her I was going anyways because I got my sons and I need some help and nobody's helping me. And their daddy is willing to try to take them. He wasn't really willing to try to take them. He had did some black magic and he wanted me to fall into his trap. And I did. I absolutely fucking did. Okay. So I was actually speaking through text, right? Through text, through this demon, through technology or whatever. And it was telling me, don't worry, you won't get pulled over, you're not gonna get locked up, we're gonna watch you the whole way, we're gonna take care of you the whole way. And they didn't do it. And y'all remember me telling y'all a story about that one time when I had gotten in trouble and I asked the spirit why the fuck they just didn't tell me what the fuck was going on if I could hear them and shit. Why you just didn't fucking tell me what the fuck was going on if I could hear you? And he said, because you don't listen. And I told y'all that I heard that through telepathy before I actually heard it through his voice say it or whatever. So if y'all remember that story, this is that story or whatever, because that conversation actually happened like the day that I got out of jail. So I was taking my kids to St. Louis to drop them off to their narcissistic warlock ass Keyshawn, Bishop Don Juan Keyshawn, the pimping preacher, okay? And I fucking knew that something was the fuck up. I just did not listen to my higher self. But I was thinking he's going to take his sons. That's going to take some pressure off of me because he had never done anything for his kids anyways. So if he'll take his sons for me for just for a few months, I can focus on my business. It'll be just me and my daughter, and I'll be able to do what I need to do. And yeah, it was a complete fucking setup. So I get on this road. My sister ends up taking a license plate, and she says to me, she's a goddamn word witch. She says, if you drive to St. Louis, you're getting locked up. And she said it just like that. And I said, no, I'm not. She took her place off the car. And I had to hook up or whatever because I knew some people in Omaha. I knew where to go and get some temp tags. And they'll even rewrite your whole car in Omaha, Nebraska. So they'll rewrite your whole car or whatever. And I can get these temp tags from this spot. If I just threw them down some cash or whatever, they would make it seem like I purchased the car that day and give me temp tags for that day. They would write me a whole nother everything, right? Now, I ain't dropping no dimes on where this is in Omaha, but it's in Omaha. Okay? And that's how this one car lot worked. So I went there because she snatched her plates off my shit. And then I feel like all of this is relevant. I'm going to get some murder apart because I got there safely and I dropped my kids off. And as soon as I gave him my kids and I was on my way out, and this was my daughter's birthday as well, so there was a lot of shit going on. And I was on my way out of St. Louis back to Omaha. I was driving on the highway and I just could not stop crying. Like tears were pouring out of my motherfucking eyes that were just pouring out. I knew that I had made the wrong fucking decision. Something was in me like, bitch, you just fucked up. Bitch, you just fucked up. Even though he was saying to me that it was going to be a helpful situation for me to bring my children to him, right? So I dropped the kids off, and then as soon as I get on the highway back, like I said, the tears are pouring out of my eyes. I ended up getting pulled over by a state trooper, and he had just made like deputy that day. It was a black man, right? A lot of shit was going on. I was in the process of getting my legal name changed and everything, right? So when he pulled me over, my legal name changed and everything had been already documented. And the spirit, I'm not gonna lie to you, the spirit told me, my inner spirits was like, bitch, tell him your new name. But I knew I hadn't had the court. I knew they was gonna approve my new name, but I didn't have my ID or anything like that that says that. I had just filed for the petition to change my name or whatever, right? So, but the spirit was like, say this name, say the name that we gave you that you're about to legally change your name to, say the name that we ordained you to have now, that we just changed you to. But something was in me like, no, I can't lie to this person. And it's a black dude. It was a black brother. He was a sheriff, okay? So, well, what is he? Yeah, he was a state trooper. He wasn't a sheriff. I'm sorry. He was a state trooper, and it was a black dude. And when I seen him, I was like, no, I'm not going to lie to him because he's black. And this is how I found out all skin folks wasn't kin folks neither, right? I was like, I'm not going to lie to him because he's black. I'm a single mother. It's my daughter's birthday. I'm going to just tell him the truth. Like, I had a traffic ticket that I didn't pay, you know? So when he approached the car, I told him, I was like, this is my name, this is my social. And he was like, do you have any warrants? And I was like, well, I did have a traffic ticket and I didn't pay it or whatever. And it was like fucking 11 years old. The traffic ticket was. It was 11 years old. And I didn't pay it. And he told me to sit back. And he's like, sit back in the car for a little bit. And I'm like, okay. So I sat back in the car for a little bit, and then he brings me to his car, and I'm listening to his conversation over the little radio. And the guy was like, because I was in the middle of Missouri, so I was 6 hours from St. Louis and an hour away from Omaha. Okay. And he was like, over the radio, and the people that were over the radio were telling them, like, you don't have to take her in. It's up to you. Like, you don't got to do that. It's just a traffic ticket. You know, you don't have to do it. But he was like, shit, I just got promoted. I just made deputy. I'm the boss now. I'm going to do what I have to do. He wanted to prove a point. And this is a black dude. And I was just so disgusted because he ended up, like, my daughter was with me. So he ended up taking my child away too, just to lock me up over some traffic tickets. Now, when I get in there, I'm like, okay, this shouldn't be too long. I don't think this should be a long situation because it's just fucking traffic tickets. Though, I was 6 hours away from the place that wanted to come and get me, right? For the traffic tickets. So when we get into this place, they put me in this cell. Now we're in the middle of Missouri. So this is the only black trooper out there. And all the people in the jail is white. Okay? Because that's how far the fuck out we are. All the people in the jail are white. So when we get to the fucking jail, there is one Puerto Rican in there. All right? And everybody else in the block or whatever, the little pod block or whatever, is white. And the Puerto Rican is the pod boss. And she's in that motherfucker, and she's like, she sees me, and she's like, oh, she's going in my cell. Bring her here into my cell. She's going into my cell. And I'm like, oh shit, like she's gonna try to do something to me or whatever. I didn't even know she was a murderer at that point. I just was thinking like she's gonna try to do something to me or whatever because she wants me in her cell. But it turns out she was like, she's Puerto Rican. So she's like, I am black. Like, you're my sister. You're the closest thing that I have, so that you're now going to be in my cell. If anybody fuck with you, they're going to have to fuck with me. And all the other bitches were scared of her because they was in there for like fucking meth and other weird shit. And this bitch was in there for murder, right? And I was scared to go in the cell with her at first too, because I was like, wow, like, I'm gonna have to stay in there with you. And I didn't think I was gonna be there that long, but I did end up being there for 3 weeks. And I ended up taking a liking to this girl. So I know this story is gonna take a turn. I ended up actually taking a liking to this girl, not like in a way like that or anything, but just a liking to her in general, because this is what she told me she was in there for, right? So her dude had went to jail a week earlier for like a drive-by shooting, and somebody had died. And she was walking up her steps from taking her mother to the store, and she said she had her babies with her, like her 2 and her 4-year-old sons with her. And the people that her husband, who was already in jail, supposedly allegedly had killed the week before, his peoples did a drive-by at her mother's house while they were on the porch, right? So they shot up their house while they're on the porch. Nobody got shot, and she grabs her guns and she gets in the car and she chases them back around the corner. Now she's shooting around them, right? All around as they're driving around the streets, and she chases them back to her house, to their house, which is around the corner, right? And before they can get out of the car or even get their weapons ready, she pulls out some type of semi-automatic, like military style weapon, and then she shoots up their car and she kills 3 men, right? So she's now in there for murder, and they was trying to fry the shit out of her ass. But I was in that motherfucker with her, and I was scared as shit. I don't lie to you. At first, I was like, oh my God, because I'm just in here for traffic tickets, right? But I didn't know what she had was, I didn't know what exactly her murder case entailed until she sat down and she talked to me and she told me. And I kind of felt like it was self-defense in a way, but what they got her caught up on was the moment that she stepped off of her property and she began to chase them, and she shot they house up on their property. I mean, shot their car up on their property when they pulled up to their house. It was no longer self-defense, it was murder, because she followed those people and like was shooting at them all the way till they got back to their spot, and then she killed 3 men in her fucking shit, and she shot them up in the car or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that was like pretty traumatic for me. Like, I didn't really sleep well when I was in jail because she would be having flashbacks. Like, I felt like she was a good person, but just traumatized, you know what I'm saying? She would be having flashbacks of that scene of when she killed those people. And in the middle of the night, she would be waking up and she would be talking in her sleep and shit like that. And I was really scared to sleep. But overall, she was a cool person. And she was like really protecting me because, and not that I needed her protection, but she called herself, I'll put it like that. She called herself protecting me because I was black and she was Puerto Rican. And that all the rest of them motherfuckers was white. So, you know what I'm saying? So she kind of felt like I was her family, just off the rip because my skin tone. I was dark skinned like her. So she really just like took me under her wing. So that was an experience for me. Nobody really fucked with me when I was in jail. There was a few bitches that was like, damn, like you cute or whatever, but I don't fuck with bitches. And that like, that was quickly over. You know what I'm saying? Like once they found out that I wasn't to be fucked with, and then the Puerto Rican chick was like, hey, she don't like bitches. You know what I'm saying? So, that was it. I don't know what y'all expected from that. Oh, there was this another one time too that I did go, to jail, but I was sent there. So y'all know that Scared Straight TV program. I was never on a recorded episode of that, but I was sent there as a child before they started recording it, and putting it on TLC. I was sent to that program as a child. I think I was like 12 years old, and my mother sent me to a Scared Straight program. And what I remember about that, it was in Vandalia, Missouri. So it's a prison called Vandalia, and that's in Missouri or whatever, you know. And my mom took me there or whatever, and that was enough to keep me out of any kind of trouble because there was a lady there named Charlene, and her name, she liked to be called Steve and shit. And I accidentally called her Charlene, and she kind of snapped. Like, they won't let them hurt you, of course, when you're a kid and you go through those programs, but she kind of snapped. And I never wanted to see her again. Big Steve, that was her name. Her name was Steve. I never want to see her again. But that was only when I was a kid. And then I had this experience as an adult when I went to jail. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was like in that motherfucker, and I was like, just in regular fucking jail, like their county jail. And the girl that was in there for murder, she was just waiting to be sentenced and waiting to go to trial. So she hadn't been to the penitentiary yet. So that's why she was still in like a regular county jail or whatever, because she hadn't been, she hadn't went to court and all of that for, but I don't know. I never want to be locked up again. I would say that within a few hours, I was already like ready to fucking die. Like, what? Jesus, no, like, what the fuck? I'm just going to be honest with you. But I did learn stuff in there, and I got myself out of there too. I learned how to do magic with nothing. I learned how to do that. I started to use the paper off of the back of the books. Like, how books have extra paper and shit like that to do petitions and sigils and shit like that to get myself the fuck out of there. And I feel like I was in there, how I got out of there, right? So I was in there for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, I haven't seen my daughter. I'm going crazy. This is just traffic tickets. I'm watching bitches go in and out, and these bitches got pounds of weed and shit, and they're going in and out, and I just have traffic tickets. So I'm like, why the fuck are these people getting out? And I just have traffic tickets. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I knew it was something spiritual that I was not getting, right? So I did have an epiphany in there or whatever. I realized that we're in a jail cell, in a jail cell, in a jail cell. And if you in jail, you in another jail cell, okay? Right? So like, I did learn, because I started to like feel like I was going crazy in there. Like, not crazy, but I was just like, I didn't want to be alive anymore. I was like, let me the fuck out of here. I felt like my world was falling apart. I knew my daughter didn't have anybody. We were in the middle of nowhere. So where my daughter went, right? They just put her in a neighborhood, little group home or whatever. Like, her mama is in jail for traffic tickets or whatever, and she'll be here to get her. And then they was like, okay, well, she don't come and get her in 30 days, then we'll have to take her, like shit like that. Like, we'll have to take custody of her, all over fucking traffic tickets. That black man did never have to do me like that. And that's why this is really my motto of why all skin folks ain't kinfolk. You ain't finna catch me over here super black power, because that motherfucker was not team motherfucking black people. That motherfucker was team motherfucking police, period. Okay? That fucking officer was team fucking police. It didn't matter that I was a single mother. It didn't matter that it was my daughter's birthday. He didn't give a fuck. He had just got a promotion, right? And he, like, my daughter had told me too that she was sitting there, and she had been sitting there for about 6 hours, because we were like literally 6 hours away from any close relative. And he smirked at her and said, nobody came and got you yet. And I don't have any family to go and get my daughter and shit like that. I ain't had nobody to go get her or nothing like that. So she sat there in that group home by herself, away from her brother. She had never been away from me before. And I was in there dying. I'm talking about fucking dying. Okay? Fucking dying. But anyways, when I was in that jail cell, I figured out that the real jail cell isn't actually the jail, it's your body. That's one of the lessons that I learned in there too. Like, the jail cell is actually your body. It's not really the fucking jail cell. I figured that out real quick. And it was like, as soon as I figured that, as soon as I grasped that jail cell, actually the physical jail cell that you're in is your physical body, then I was free. Like, for real. Like, the very fucking next day, like, after I had that fucking epiphany, it was like the very next day, there was like, you're getting released. I'm like, really? And they're like, yes, like, you're getting released. All the way just for the other people that said that they wanted me to come and get me, to drive me there and then release me. Like, swear to God, like, the people that they was holding me for the traffic tickets, they came and got me. They drove 6 hours to come and get me. They drove me back 6 hours, and then I was in jail for like a day. And they let me go. So I was like, y'all wasted all that fucking gas. Like, it made no sense for y'all to do that. Like, for real. But it was all spiritual. I was in there for a reason. It taught me a lot of stuff. It taught me not to fucking listen to spirits that you do not fucking know. Because I'm telling you, as soon as I got back home, that's when that spirit called me, Archangel Raphael's twin brother, or over technology, and was like, we didn't tell you that shit because you don't listen. Like, period. I'm like, what the fuck you mean I don't listen? And I didn't ever fuck with him again. That twin brother of Archangel Raphael, I never fuck with him again. I did lose my job and I did lose my car, but I did not lose my house. After I even got out of jail, they drove me 6 hours back to St. Louis without my daughter. But I had money though, so that's good. Okay? That's good, because I was working 2 jobs and shit, so I had money. And while I was in the jail for that time frame, I had got paid twice. Okay? I got paid twice in that motherfucker. So I had some money and shit like that. I was able to give me a Greyhound to my daughter and then get us some tickets back to the crib. I lost my car though, because I was in jail so long. I couldn't afford them goddamn daily fucking toll fees and shit. So I had to let that shit go. But that was all off of listening to the narcissistic preacher. that I even ended up in that situation. Each time that he called me and told me that he was going to help me with something, it was always when I already was in a comfortable situation, but I felt like my kids needed their father. I felt like I shouldn't be doing this by myself, which I shouldn't. But he was using that to get me in worse situations. Oh, your life is good? Oh, come over here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how the fuck that shit went. Yeah, that's how the fuck that went. But I'm not ashamed of it, y'all, because we all make mistakes. And I mean, I got in trouble for that. And I will never ever fucking get in trouble for that shit again. Like, I am not about that life. I'm not about that jail life, like, at all. Like, I'm good. Okay. For real, for real. And I won't ever go to jail again. Not never. Not never for nothing. Because I can't do it. It's going to be something stupid. I'll be like, you have to kill me. For real. For real, for real. But I did learn something from the girl. Like I said, with that girl, I didn't judge her. I felt like she was really, really a good person. I felt like she was loving. I felt like she was kind. I felt like she felt like she was protecting her family. She felt like she was doing what she had to do for her children and for her mother. Because those people that her baby daddy supposedly had killed, those are her people that she ended up killing. I mean, the people that, she ended up killing them. And she killed 3 dudes, boy. They was not playing with her motherfucking ass in that court system. Like, they was not motherfucking playing. She killed 3 men. I was like, you a warrior, bitch. You a fucking warrior. For real, for real. But she shot them all, but that was just that. But yeah, but that's it. Y'all, I don't want to hold y'all too long. That's my story of the time I went to jail. It really wasn't much else to it. So I love y'all, and I thank y'all for y'all support. I'm going to listen to this. I'm just trying to put myself out there. I kind of feel like I don't have anything to hide. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know I got a lot of haters and shit like that. I'm going to tell you how I know I got some haters. Because my view count and shit like that, it'd be a lot. Like, on some lives, I'll be having 30 people view it. 11 people like it. So that means motherfuckers be watching my video every fucking day, but don't never like it. Okay, they don't like it. They don't comment. It be people watching this shit that do not comment and they do not like. It's probably because they don't like me and they like, damn, bitch, how the fuck you keep overcoming? Because of me. Because of me. You said that's powerful. What's powerful? What that girl did for her family, or what I said, or something I said about that jail cell, that being in the jail cell and jail cell. Jail cell is the firmament. Then you got the jail cell, which is your fucking body. You got the jail cell, which is your mind. And then if you in jail, that's another jail. So you in a jail, inside of a motherfucking jail, inside of a motherfucking jail. So the only thing you really have in the end is your mind. And even if you're confined in walls, when the motherfucking brothers be saying that shit, they be in jail for real. I ain't never been in a penitentiary or nothing like that. But I'm telling you, I left out that motherfucking county jail. Like, I did some hard time because it was hard as fuck for me. Okay? Hard as fuck for me. I had to put on my hard face, like, for real. Like, bitch, I'll beat your ass if you try to rape me or something, bitch. I had to do that. Because it was weird. Like, it was county jail. It was weird. Them bitches was on some gay shit anyways, though. It was county jail, but they was acting like it was the penitentiary. And I was really shocked because I was like, what the fuck is this? Y'all are in, like, really county jail and y'all acting like this the penitentiary. Like, they was, like, girlfriends and shit in there. And I'm like, y'all weird. This isn't even the pen. But they were all white people. I don't know how white people do it. I don't know how they do it. They know. All right. But, yeah, I'm going to get the fuck about this bitch. And I'm going to come back tomorrow. I don't know with what. And I guess I'm feeling like I need to say this energy too, because I also feel like somebody could go to jail, but it ain't me, because I ain't done shit. And I served my time. I was in jail 3 weeks for a goddamn traffic ticket. Time motherfucking served. Oh, and I didn't even tell y'all how I got out either, right? So on that fucking time when I was in jail, this is weird too, right? On that time when I was in jail, right? When they came and got me, and they took me 6 hours away from where I had spent all that time at, in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? They took me back to St. Louis, right? When I got there, I went to court, right? And then the first judge was not the judge that I was supposed to see. I was in the wrong motherfucking court, right? And the judge would not listen to me. Like, I was trying to tell the judge, like, to let me go, right? And the motherfucking judge was like, no, you're a fucking criminal. And I'm like, sir, are you looking at my page? Because I just have a traffic ticket and I've already been in here 2.5 weeks. I just got expedited here. I know I ain't been here long, but I was in that other jail for a very long time over something very, very small. And I have to go get my daughter because she's in the middle of nowhere. And she doesn't know anybody and I don't have anybody to go get her, right? And he was like, shut up. Take her back to her cell. And I was like, I'm telling you, I was crying. I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. Like, for real, for real. That's how I was, right? I was like, I'm gonna kill myself, right? And then when I laid down and I went to sleep the next morning, they came and got me and they took me back to the courtroom. And the judge was like, I wasn't feeling good yesterday. And there was a whole new judge. It was weird, y'all. It was weird. It was the next day when I got to the place where they only kept me for like a day, right? After I've been in the other place a long time, right? Then that other judge was like, I wasn't feeling good yesterday. That judge was Judge such and such, and they were handling my case for me, and I was reviewing my cases or whatever. And I think you should be let go. So I just wanted to let you know that we're gonna let you out on your own recognizance or whatever the fuck that shit is. I don't know what the fuck that shit is, but that's what I believe she said. Okay. And I was like, okay. And I was out. Like, she was like, give it a few hours and you'll be out. But that was weird in itself. Like, when I first got extradited back to St. Louis, they took me to a judge like immediately. That judge wouldn't even let me fucking speak. And he was like, you're a criminal. Like, you're gonna, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like literally in tears because I was like, what the fuck? I don't know if he has the right person or not. Who is he talking to? Like, I just have traffic tickets. Like, I need to get my daughter. Like, what the fuck? And the next, like I said, that next day I went to sleep. I thought it was over for me. I was like, oh my God, I could kill myself with this motherfucker. And the next morning, like I said, the judge was like, oh, I wasn't feeling good yesterday. I asked this judge to take over. And she let me go. So that's how that went. That's how I got out. But I just thought I would throw that out there because sometimes like they will play games with you like that too, because I thought that was really weird. I thought like I was just like I was like after I got to that place and I seen that first judge, I was really like breaking down. It was like a weird ass mind game because I was like, who goes to jail for this long for traffic tickets? Like what did I do wrong? Like I was in there like freaking out, like because I didn't understand. Like I have rents. I was like thinking rent's coming up. I haven't been to work in 3 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just thinking, the worst of shit. And then for the next morning for me to wake up and then the other judge was like, yeah, I wasn't feeling well. I'm gonna let you out. You said they make money off you by locking you up. I'm sure they do. I mean, this was many years ago, but I don't know. I thought that was weird how that judge was like, yeah, I wasn't feeling good yesterday, so I asked this judge to take over for me. And the judge that she said wasn't even the judge I was supposed to be seen under was very mean to me and treated me very bad. And he was like, how do I know I can believe you? How do I know I can believe you? I'm like, but sir, like, just look at my record. Like, I've never done anything. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, shut up. He would ask me a question. Like, it was weird. He would ask me a question. And then when I would go to answer it, he'd be like, shut up. I don't trust a thing you say. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, it was weird. But anyways, yeah, you said you can recoup that contract bonds and go get money for that BS. I don't even know I don't know. I don't know. It was years ago. But I pretty much got like time served for it because I was in there for so long. So it ended up working out for my good. Like they were like, okay, you're good. You know what I'm saying? You were here for so long. You serve time, So that's what they said. So I didn't have to pay anything, But yeah, that was my story. It's pretty weird. You said that happened to me too, demonic ass. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I swore to myself, I can't let nobody live with me, and I don't give a fuck. Anybody that has came through my life in the past, I will never go back. And that was a problem. I kept trusting motherfuckers. I trusted that he was trying to help me. And that's how this motherfucking narcissist lured me in each time to trick me and do black magic on me and shit like that. Because he came in with the offer to help me with the kids that he created. The ones his own kids. Like, I don't know. And every time it would be a trap to like lure me somewhere or lure me out of my comfort zone. It would be deep shit. Like I said, get me traveling across the fucking country to bring him the kids just to put me in bad situations after I've done so. So now I'm just like, you know what? You can't even see these motherfuckers. It's not worth it to me. But it is what it is. I enjoy spending time with you guys. I kind of want to end this. and I'm still on the road. But yeah, I'm gonna end it, and I'm just gonna relax for the evening, and then I'm gonna take the fruits and stuff out to the birds in the morning. In the morning when I rise. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna take that out to the birds and shit, and of course I'm gonna keep track of all the birds that come to eat. All right, I gotta give me a little camera or something, and I set up when I make offerings, and so I can see the birds and show y'all too. Because it'd be a plethora of birds. It is not just one species of birds. I have so many birds: cardinals, starlings, robins, junco birds, crows, ravens, every kind of bird you can think of will come and eat these offerings. And we're going to get the spiritual meanings off of those things when they show up. So I love you guys. I'm out this bitch because I want to talk all goddamn day. I love y'all so much.